Here it is. Here's the number. Children's Health Watch, informing evidence based on policy decisions to prevent child hunger. Out of the 42,000 children and families around the impoverished regions of the world, of this country, 42,000 children and families. They have Rhode Island, Delaware, D.C., New York, the southern states and the West Coast. They say 4,500 are in Philadelphia. Now, what's the connection? When we looked at urban agriculture, we found that Philadelphia in the late 1700s all the way into the 1800s was the breadbasket of the New World. Philadelphia fed New York, Philadelphia fed London, Philadelphia fed Delaware, Philadelphia was feeding everybody. That's why they still label it, William Penn in his old writings label it, the Green Country. Now, if these people are mystics, Rosicrucians, studying ancient mysticism, Egyptian, African mysticism, and they have enough knowledge to know, don't over-urbanize the land, what are they telling you is coming up? Famine. Famine. They ran from famine. If you read the teachings and the writings of the man who wrote Common Sense, it's a book that was written in the 1700s. It is the book where you get the Constitution. Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine wrote a book called Common Sense. Common Sense is the book and the writings that they framed the Declaration of Independence and Constitution off of. In his writings, he said there was no poverty and death in America until we, the European, came. So most of the knowledge that has kept this place alive was secretly ancient, indigenous, African knowledge. And it's hidden inside of the mystery schools. So all the cartoons you watch, see, I always got to relate back to you, because I'm not going to leave you out there. I know you're like, this man is talking. Name any cartoon. Avatar. Sang with all this stuff coming out of his hands and all the elementals. They playing with the 4 elements. They are trying to tell you you're going to have to learn how to use nature to survive, children. Are you with me? See, they coded inside of movies. All of the enlightened ones, the illuminated beings, talk to you through symbols. So, not to get off the track, they were always using this ancient knowledge. That's why Philadelphia is designed the way it is. That's why there is an actual zodiac circle in the middle of the city. If you go through the city hall, there are 4 gates with 12 astrological symbols in the 4 gates. That represents the book of Revelation. There will be 12 fruits in the middle of the city, and there are 4 gates to that city. And those 12 fruits will relate to the 12 tribes of Israel. When you go through City Hall, there are 4 beasts under the pillars and 4 nations lined up. This is designed to be the New Jerusalem. If you're studying mysticism, you have to know when they're talking to you through symbols, study nature. The Creator moves through nature. The Creator is nature. That's what we as Africans know. Nothing else. Not no men, not no people to follow. Nature. Your own intelligence. That is nature. Anytime you hear any story about prophets and messiahs, where are they? In the woods, in nature. And every problem we have as a people.
Caves.
In caves. Thank you. Every problem we have as a people is being estranged from nature. So today, my class is about getting you back into nature. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to show it to you in prophecy. I don't want to lead you astray. I want you to know why all of this is going on. They use the game called Game 64, a Tibetan game, feng shui, I Ching, to design Philadelphia. We're talking about Benjamin Franklin, who stole his ideas from Benjamin Banneker. So you're not left without science to fight this war. It's inside of the hidden teachings. And they're all in here. Excuse me one second. That's why I play the music. This is all going on. So now I'm going to go in. Before I even go into what's happening in modern time, I want to first go in prophecy, so you can see it, and then we're going to relate it to what's happening socially right now. You are in Revelation. You're already in it. And to show you that, I'm going to go, before I go there, since this is Hope Sunday and everybody keeps talking about it, I said, you know what, maybe I need to talk about it for a minute. Then Philadelphia can see. And then since this is going streaming across the world, I'll first go to the scripture. And Philadelphia has it's interesting that this city, being the mystical city, the first capital of America, and what do they call this place? The Keystone State. Right. Keystone is a Masonic term. It is the stone where the building is started. So this is the place where everything is started from. So when they're calling for the new world to be built, they're coming to Philadelphia, the keystone of the new world order. And who's responsible for the survival and salvation of Philadelphia? Black people. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to remember, your ancestors are the ones who picked up the dead bodies from the plagues that hit Philadelphia. You were the ones who built the infrastructure so Philadelphia can be a so-called liberated city. This was the actual city and state where the first war against slavery happened, right on Germantown Avenue. So you're very important people. Keeping you from knowing that importance is the difference between success and failure. Here we go. Philadelphia. Revelation chapter 3, verse 7. And to the angel, and I'm going to translate certain words, and to the angel, messenger of the church in Philadelphia write these things, saying that he is holy, he that is true. Wow. No other church in this book is referred to as Philadelphia like this one. And why did they name this Philadelphia? Again, to actually create a new Jerusalem in this time period. It was already being thought about in the Masonic lodges of England before it was built. That's why when you go, okay, just to jump ahead just a minute, I'm going to get back to the scripture. When you go to City Hall, whether it's Monday or sometime this week, I want you to go to the east corner, to the east stone of City Hall, and there you will see the prayer for Philadelphia. And they said this is a city that was called by her name before she was. You can't call something by its name before it existed. Unless you planned it. And they say this city, may it survive the day of judgment and its children be protected. That's on the east wall, on the east stone, on the east corner of the building. It's the prayer of William Penn. So there is no such thing as coincidence. This is all coincidence. But how it relates with you is that you are the true children and people of what? David. Of the tribe of what? Judah. And that's a what? A Semitic group of people. And the word Semite means Afro-Asiatic. Go on the dictionary. You can go on your phone right now. Somebody talk about, you anti-Semitic. I'll be like, I wish I was some anti-Semitic. It's impossible. No black person can be anti-Semitic. Don't let nobody play with your head. When you speak the definition. Don't let nobody play with words with you. Semitic means pertaining to Afro-Asiatic languages. Your ancestors already laid down the foundation before this place was. So now you comprehend what's going on spiritually? Why I keep talking about these keys, these skeleton keys. Listen, as soon as I mentioned this scripture, first thing they said was what? Keys. What's the symbol for the Vatican? Keys. And what are they? What are those keys? Those keys are your ancestral knowledge, which they hold at the bottom of the Vatican. And which is why I always say, what is the root word of Vatican? Vat. What's a vat? It's something that holds something. Also, the word Vatican means the fourth seat. This is why they call them the Holy See. And it's all about you, because when I tell you who started the Catholic Church, your eyes is really going to be in for a treat. And to the angel of the church of Philadelphia write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that has the key of David. Stop. The word David means love or beloved. What is the number one symbol for Philadelphia? Love. So the name David is written within the middle of the city, which everybody keeps walking around. He that openeth and no man shutteth, and shutteth and no man openeth. I know thy works, behold, I set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. Thou hast a little strength, and hast kept my word, and hast not denied my name. This city had an actual blessing put on it from the day it was built. They knew, they came here with the design to build a new Jerusalem. But you can't have a new Jerusalem with slavery in it, because then that would overturn the prophecy. You can't say that you want the most divine place on the planet and have black folks living at the bottom. It's not going to work that way. Because who are the people of David? Africans, Nubians, you. They call us the tribe of Judah or Yahudah, Semitic people. That means Afro-Asiatic people. The covenant is yours. Keeping us away from the remembrance of our covenant is the way that they destroy us. Are you with me? And that natural covenant, that covenant about not touching the land, keeping it green. Well, now, if you have thousands of people starving within a country, within a city, and you come to find out that the 40,000 vacant lots, if not more, because it's more than that, is the actual answer to feeding these little ones, these young ones, and our mothers and our sisters and our daughters, our nieces, our nephews, then you can see clearly why to keep the land green. It's for the salvation and health of the people. But if you can keep the people ignorant to their own covenant and keep them looking against themselves, they'll never get it. Which is why every time someone mentions chattel slavery to you, you think about the fields. And anytime you think about agriculture, your mind goes back to what? Slavery. It was a trick. Booker T. Washington said they're going to trick you out of your land. They're going to make you feel inferior for growing food and being agriculturalist people. They're going to manipulate you with it. All you are field hands that can pick up buckets and hew stone and gather water. And so to our minds, that starts to feel like some type of inferior thing. And then they'll make up false prophecies about us being cursed. But this whole book is about who? Africans. Jesus Christ is the descendant of a black woman. Go read the book of Kings. It says the children, the sons of Judah, are all descended from a Canaanite woman. The Canaanites are Africans. The tribe of Judah, the Lion of Judah, is coming out of the actual hips of a black woman. So the salvation of your people is coming through your bloodline. I wish they would have stayed to hear this part. Because you don't got to go far for your revelation. It's right in your face. But see, certain people, I'm going to have to tell you the truth today. Certain people was paid not to teach this. Oh, yes. Another book, Slave, Henry Blasingame, Slave Culture, and Antebellum South. Slave preachers were instructed not to teach their congregations any fiery teachings. For unless a preacher on the plantation teach certain things, fiery orations, he will be hit with the lash of the whip and taken out of power. So black preachers on a certain masses, and I don't care if they heard me, they have a fear of teaching African culture. But you can't read this book from Genesis to Revelation without escaping Africa. Because Ethiopia is the first thing that's mentioned in the book. So we're dealing with illiterate teachers. Are you with me? Now let's bring the children back into the game of it. If the land is open to you, and there is a new design that's coming about by 2035, 2040, There are certain portions of Philadelphia that's already been allotted to grow food. Are you with me? I want you to look up Plan 2035, 2040. Write it down. And go look at the map on the computer. And you will see where all the land has been allotted to certain functions. And urban agriculture is number one on the list. And if you haven't listened to anything that this Pope has said, he keeps talking about what? Anybody listening?
No.
Okay. I do, because, see, I want to hear what he's really going on. And I know what he's going to talk about. But I want to make sure that we similar wavelength. And you know what it is? He keeps talking about the environment. But what about it? The fact of the matter is that 3/4 of the earth is black. And the number one thing is birth control and population control. And the first group of people to be targeted for population control is who? Us, Nubians. Are you with me? You seeing it now? But the prophecy says that you shall inherit it. Okay, let me go to another scripture for you. Y'all with me? We together? I'm with y'all. Y'all can't be with me. I'm with y'all. I will do this for the rest of my life. Here we go. Can I come off the top? I can just come. Oh, here it is. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. And if you got a recorder, record it. Write it. I know thy works and tribulation and... Where's my paper? Here it is. What are we talking about? Urban agriculture and poverty, and how the land relates to us in prophecy. Where's the paper? Is it out there? Here it is. Whole thing about how the children in Philadelphia are starving. Poverty. And what did the book of Revelation chapter 2 verse 9 say? I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. But you are rich. And I know the blasphemy of which say they are Jews from the tribe of Judah, and are not, but of the synagogue of Satan. Why does it say that? I didn't write this book, by the way, just for the people out there. What made them write that in this book? Well, the reason why they wrote it is because they know that they're looking and living someone else's covenant. They have someone else's prophecy, and they're living off of it. How do you know it's about us? Well, when you look at the origins of the Catholic Church, the Jewish culture, Jewish faith, Islamic faith, all you see at the center of origin of all three monotheistic religions are Africans. Prophet Muhammad was descended from the Ishmaelites, they're Egyptians. The tribe of Judah is descended from Canaanite women, Africans. The Catholic Church was designed and built by St. Peter. And whenever you get an old revelation or old picture or a statue of Peter in the Vatican, he's black. The first three popes were African. And the first people who were murdered for the ideas of what we call Yeshua, Christ, were Africans. And when Prophet Muhammad had to escape out of Mecca and Medina because they didn't want to receive Islam, he ran to a Christian country with an African Ethiopian king, and the Ethiopian king protected his followers. So what's this thing about Christians and Muslims and Jews not getting along? It's a lie. These are people taking your covenant and playing with it. At that time, these were not religious movements, they were political parties. And in Rome, black people were being murdered in coliseums for standing up, not bowing down to Jupiter. For not bowing down to the gods of Europe, we were being murdered in the coliseums. When you hear about Judah Ben-Hur, that's not no white people, that's black people. So the whole origin of this whole philosophy that you're dealing with is yours. So they know your tribulation and your poverty, but you are rich. How is that possible? How can you be in poverty but be rich? There must be something about you that makes you rich. And here's what it is. Number one, within your DNA, there's a memory on how to convert this earth to survive. Can I show it to you? Sure. In the front of the store, there's a poster. I wish I could get it. Maybe the brother can bring the poster up.
What's that?
And that's the poster of the black inventors. Now, here's something to test your psychology. If you just came out of chattel slavery and you can't read, how are you inventing everything?
Say that again.
Who's been playing with your head?
Mm.
Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding on the plantation. That's Hollywood. Stop it. Don't insult yourself so bad. Don't insult your own intelligence. You're going against your own ancestors when you do it. How can you say to me and to yourself and to anybody you know, black people were growing up, living up in inferiority, coming off the plantations, but you turn around within a 50-year to 100-year span and invent everything that makes the modern world move? Does that sound like an impoverished people? You are rich. Then when you flip it on the other side, let's take it literally. Where does all the gold come from in the world? Where does all the diamonds come from? Where's all the technology, including the gun? Because Moors invented the gun. The gun is nothing but a blowpipe with a piece of metal in it, with a projectile spring. You invented that too. How did you fall? Internal warfare. Internal warfare. And that has always been our biggest downfall. And right now, you're living in a city that you're responsible for building. Okay, so let's go a little deeper into history of Philadelphia. You have Freemasonry. Everybody talk about, Freemasonry, Masonry and where it come from. Your ancestors, boys, were Freemasons and are Freemasons. And Freemasonry is an African art form and science. That's why when you get to the highest level, you get a what? You get a fez and a tarbush, which is a hat. It's called a what? A fez. And where is the city of Fez? It's in Morocco, North Africa. So even when you put on a fez, you still have to go back to African culture. So that means the highest level of knowledge within the secret orders of the world is still rooted with you. Now, the first organization to fight against slavery, built by black men and women, Free African Society, was started right down off of South Street by 3 people. You should know their names by heart. Prince Hall, Richard Allen, Absalom Jones. This was the first place where they fought against. These were the first organizations to fight against slavery. Black abolitionists. This city has a whole history of underground movements and knowledge. But the whole thing is keeping the people away from it. So now let's go a little further. What's one of the first things you have to learn when you start studying mysticism? The first thing they instruct you to do is to go into meditation, prayer, and to go into nature. So nature is symbolically central to your study. That's why we're going to have to go to the Wissahickon Creek next. Because the Wissahickon, Elfont Wissahickon Realty. Y'all know who Elfont is? Elfont was the man who worked with Benjamin Banneker to design Washington, D.C. He was the European drunk who was told to go back home. He was a drunk, and they told him go back home. Benjamin Banneker designed the whole entire D.C. and the whole country, for that matter, lined up with the stars. There is a clock at the top of the Capitol building that is still ticking to this day. It is called, that's in England. Big Ben is in England. No, listen carefully. There is Eiffel Tower is par Isis. At the top of the Capitol building, there is a clock that was built by Benjamin Banneker. Bey Banaka, a prince from Mali, the best star watchers in the world, the Dogon. There, at the top of the Capitol building, there's a clock that not only moves with the hours, it moves with the constellations. That's how dynamic of a people you are. They knew this was about you. So when you think about the keys, and every time you see those keys, you should think about who's got your knowledge locked up with a telescope called Lucifer. I said it. The name of the telescope at the Vatican is called Lucifer. Got this eye in the sky. Why is he watching the sky? Show you why. Can I go into the scriptures deeper? I just want to set the ground. We all right, brother? You good? All right. Matter of fact, I'll go back to that one. Can I go to Isaiah? I'm going to go to Isaiah 61. I want to show you this all in prophecy first. I want to go into the scriptures because people, I know sometimes when you start to talk, people say, this ain't talking about us in scripture. Oh, yes, it is. Big time. We the only people who you can open a book and the first country named is Ethiopia. When you open the book of Genesis, they say the river that flows out of Ethiopia and goes into the rest of the world. That is the Nile. So the Bible starts in Africa, family. Let's not get illiterate here. Okay? But I'm gonna go to Isaiah because there's something I want to show you in the verses. Because once we set the ground, then you'll be able, everything that I will talk about socially, you will say, wow, it's not that we're approaching Revelation, you are in that time period. 1/3 of everything is already being destroyed. So that's done. That prophecy already happened. Thank you, brother. Yeah, oh, just have a, boys, I want y'all to look at this. Brothers, sisters, I want you to look at this. Thank you. You might need it. I got this for my students at the school also. I want you to point to anything on this chart. And I want the people out there to see me. I'll move back for you. So y'all can see me in computer land. You see these inventions? Name one invention that you use every day.
Zipper.
The zipper. African. Black man, black woman invented it. It's on here. Name another one.
Doorknob.
Everything.
Video game. Refrigerator.
How about the fact that some of us got on the train today? Right? The train was invented by, the train third rail was invented by Granville T. Woods. Also, he's responsible for running the first electric lines in the world. And the third rail, which kept trains from hitting each other and powered the very trolleys in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia, by the way, was one of the first people to use the electric car, which was improved and designed by black men. Name anything. There's nothing you can name. Please.
Umbrella.
A who? AJ. A jet. The engine that makes the jet go up in the sky? Black men. Black women. You want to sit here and play with it for a while? Go ahead. You can sit there and look at it and try to find one. So that means, and here's the thing, Granville T. Woods, let me give you a little history on him and then I'm going to get back to the scripture. During the time that he was around, blacks were not allowed to go to the library. Are you listening? So he had to ask a white friend that he knew to go to the library to get the engineering books that he can study. And this same mind that could not go to the library revolutionized the whole world. Are you listening, son? So that means take no game in reading. Read everything. You hear me? If a young brother your age and only a couple years older than you, at the time he was 14, 15, 13, okay, was already thinking about how to design a transportation and communication around the world, you are supposedly liberated and free. And what are black men doing today? Not reading and not creating. We stopped creating. We stopped producing. And when we stopped producing, that's when we started to fall. Now this is a point where we have to start producing for ourselves. You can see it, sister. Pass this back to the people. You can pass it back. Yeah, please do. Everybody should have this poster in their house, I believe. I know, actually. But brother, how much is the poster? It is well worth it, because I got one for my students and where I work at. Thank you, Lord, brother. Okay, so now this is where the African genius is about to kick in. we got it. So I have to bring scripture. Because no one ever, it seems like no one wants to talk about black people being connected to God in any type of way in their churches, mosques, synagogues, and any other place, and that means college too. But I believe in the simple way. I believe going back to the old school Nat Turner way. We can pull out the Bible in the run and get it on with some drums, and we can see where God is at. We don't have to go far. And you know what I really wanted to say. That's right. You know what it is. You know what it is with me. All right. Isaiah 61. I'm going to go all the way down to, from Isaiah chapter 61, verses 1 to 4. The Spirit of the Lord Most High God is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted. Wait a minute. First thing that a messenger comes to do is what? To give glad tidings and messages to the meek. To bind up the brokenhearted. And what are we as a people? Brokenhearted. Because one thing we got a problem with is loving ourselves and loving each other, which is love for self, personal and collective. To proclaim liberty to the captives. Hey, who else is captives but us? And we in a land that's called what? Capitalism. This land is ran economically by capitalism. And we are the what? Captives. We are the first money of this country. That's why we got to stop saying we broke. See, I'm about to start using certain language, and I got to remember voices here. Y'all know how I talk. For those who know me, how can we say that we're broke and we're the basis of American and world economy? There was no dollar bill before black people. Show me any currency before you in this country. The currency of this nation is based on you. So why are we always broke? I can say, I ain't got no problem saying I'll be broke. Look, there's times when I need dough too, right? But why are we always saying it? Because there's something inside of us that's broken. And you know what it is, family? It's our memory. It's our hearts. Because we don't look at the beauty of us enough. And no one likes to go over those great things about us enough. So the next thing that the Most High must do is give you a message to mend your what? Your broken heart. Money follows your consciousness. People talking about, yeah, I'm conscious. I'm like, yeah, we got to get that money, fam. I'm like, so where your head at? We get the money and what we do, we spend it like those who've been over us taught us how to use it. So you ain't getting anywhere. Make it nice and plain. To bind up the brokenhearted. To proclaim freedom, liberty to the captives. And here we go. And the opening of the prison to them that are bound. How do we free our people? What prisons must I break you out of? What prison must we break each other out of? Our spiritual, social prison. Because that's the only reason why the prison system is surviving. Because if you think low, you're going to get treated what? Low. And they got low stuff waiting for us. Half of the crimes that we are committing is not natural. They're the products of poverty. Think about this now. You grew up with the brother. Can I go there? 1980, 1990s. We all in the basketball court shooting. We children. Negroes grow up. Same brother he used to play basketball with wound up putting a bullet in his chest. Is this real? Is this real? Yes, so what we're really imprisoned to is a certain state of mind and consciousness that's been taught to us, and it's not our way. So we have to give up the unnatural culture of these people. Gangsterism, yo, that's not our culture. Abandoning children, not our culture. Stealing, not our culture. It's not us, and you can tell it's not us by the way we act when we do it, which is why they give us so much crack, so we can get high enough not to think about it. And when they put crack and melanin under the microscope, of course, they found same molecular structure and carbon base. Are you seeing this? They're creating the prison, and the only reason why the prison can thrive is because we are running from ourselves. Oh, the prophecy ain't over. Since they want to pull out this Bible and have all of us mentally messed up on Sundays and now they got the whole city locked down. Can't even get through Center City. Can't get to the other side to see your family members. It's crazy. And we supposed to be up there cheering and happy. Someone stole our memories from us. I'm sorry, I'm not too happy. I want the keys to unlock the gate. The word ghetto means gate. And someone got those keys and he got his crown on top of it. And what's behind the door? You're behind the door. Everything to unlock everything. But it doesn't take them to unlock it. All it takes is us to be brave enough to study ourselves. Look at the next part. Remember, write it down. Isaiah 61. So if anybody, Isaiah 61, verses 1 through 4. To proclaim the acceptable year of the... Woo! Listen again. To proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our Creator, to comfort all that mourn. What did he mean by the acceptable year? That means the proper time. We're not living in proper time. Is this the year of the Lord? 2015 AD. That's the year. What does AD mean?
After the death.
See, after the death. I knew somebody was going to say, thank you. You did a job. Thank you so much. You opened up the chamber. Somebody else tell me what it means. Tell me what they told you.
After the birth of Christ.
After the birth of Christ. Here we go. The other one is in the year of our
Lord.
Now I want you to, and since you got your pen and you've been in my classes, so you know where this is about to go. I want you to spell out the words anno, A-N-N-O, and domino, D-O-M-I-N-O. Now what words do you got? Anno, which is Latin for year or yearly, and domino, which does not mean Lord, it means domination, to be dominated. Domicile, domino, domination. It's right in your face. It's called etymology. It's called knowing root words. See the blanket of ignorance that's been put on, or should I say the blanket of sleep placed over our minds. We say we're speaking English and Latin words and stuff. So I'm saying, okay, so define what you're saying. So we're going to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord. What is that? Well, in the Masonic time period, we are in the 5,000 to 6,000 year period. And the Kemetic year, we are in the 6,000 year cycle. And the overall year, we are in what we call the Great Cycle. The precession cycle, 25,000 years. Every 25,000 years, the world is renewed. You can read that in Supreme Wisdom by Elijah Muhammad. You can also find that on the walls of Kemet. All the pyramids are lined up with the stars, the Orion's belt. And to know that we are in the 25,000 year period, all the constellations and planets are lined up. It only happens every 25,000 years. It is happening right now. Are you with me? We're in that period right now. Your ancestors, when they built those pyramids, you can look this up. Look up the precessional cycle. They lined up the stars with the pyramids. When things line up, that means that this precessional cycle has come back to its beginning. So it's really year 25,000 overall and a cycle. That means we have gone through all of the houses of the zodiac. We're now in the golden era, the golden age, the age of Aquarius, which is why the group in the 60s, 1969, 68, 70, the group fifth dimension, the astral plane is the fifth dimension, family. Anyway, so you see the games? A music group makes a song that says, this is the what?
Done.
Of the what? Age of Aquarius. That was 1960. So I think we're far away from the what? Dawning of an age. We are now in it. And the beginning of the age of Aquarius is an air sign, which means, when we look at it astrologically, communication. As information travels through the air. Satellite signals, computers, cell phones. This is the age of air, Aquarius. This is the year, this is the proper year of the Lord. Not 2015 AD from a time period unknown by a person who you can't tell me when they were born. What year is it? What year was Jesus born? If the which one? Let me stop right there. Which one? And what year? We'll stay on one. We just stay on one right now. What year? And I wish somebody would say year 0, because that would just really show our just complete ignorance right now. You see, the math don't add up.
Get up and leave.
What he said?
You get
He said, somebody say year 0.
Year 0. Look at the next verse, verse 3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion. Now Zion, that's another tricky word in religion. Everybody say Zion is the place where the Lord stood. Yeah, it is the place where the Lord stood, but it's symbolic. Zion means that holy place. That's in symbolism. Remember, this is symbols. Zion represents the holy place where you stand, where you stand. To give unto them beauty of ashes, the oil of joy for mourning. There's a whole lot of mourning going on. I don't know nobody that mourn more than black people. The garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Spirit of heaviness? What's always weighing heavy on our spirit? Racism. Constantly watching over our backs. We don't know who to watch out for. Crackhead, crack dealer, or cop. Don't matter. We looking out for everything and everybody now. Who's your friend and who's your enemy? Right? Those who you, of course, you in prayer and meditation and work with. That's your friends. That's your family. Right? But we got a heavy heart. And we're always walking around with heavy hearts because we're being what? Tested every day. That they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. Trees. Now, what did they call us in them old movies? What did they call us? Y'all remember? What's the movie where they see the Tutsis and the Hutsus fighting each other? What did they call them in the movie? The Tutsis and the... What's wrong, brother? Peace. Rwanda, Hotel Rwanda. The Tutsis and the Hutus were fighting. And all through the movie, you heard over the radio, we must cut down the what? We must cut down the trees. When you go look at the movie Avatar, I don't care which one you want to pick out. The one with the yellow eyes and the blue skin. What do they call us? We blue black. I love blue black people. Oh, mercy, turn me on. So anyway, with your yellow eyes and your long locks that go down your back, and you can see in the dark as you run. And there's a mineral in the center of your country, your planet, that they have to find, and they have to remove you off of that continent, off that planet, to get that mineral. Oh, that sounds familiar. That's the Congo, and that's called coltan.
And they had a tree too.
And the tree, and it's called the tree of God. And under those trees, under those forests, lies a coltan, a real mineral that they mine in Africa. And do you know what coltan is responsible for?
All electronics.
All electronics and
Your
creation.
car, everything.
Yeah.
You said coltan?
Coltan. C-O-T-A-N or K-O-T-A-N.
It's an L in it.
Is an L in it?
Yeah, C-O-L-T-A-N.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. So coltan. So when you're watching movies, you think it's just a movie. No, it's not. What did they call the people? The what? The Navi, which is another way to say Nubian. It's all about you. It's always been about you. But we ain't finished. We now at verse 4. This is the hit of the season. And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. Welcome to Philadelphia. 40,000 vacant lots, abandoned buildings, abandoned whole neighborhood blocks, abandoned. Raccoons, rats, and germs. Okay? Hey, I'll go straight to it. A bunch of starving babies and children and women and brothers constantly getting locked up. And all of North Philadelphia looks like one big gigantic factory wasteland, because all the factories were shut down in the early 70s.
The biggest black labor in the world.
And all the factories are where? In the north.
Yep.
All the factories in Philadelphia were located in the north because the north represents industry and the designing of Philadelphia. And when you go outside and you look around your neighborhood, what do you notice? You see nothing but abandoned factories, fallen rocks everywhere. And what's going to be the number one salvation for us? That we as the people are going to have to build and grow our own food in our own houses. We've already started. Want the evidence? They put us in Grid Magazine. I'm not going to go in details. It's right here. I was the engineer and the designer of it, and I'm still designing new ones. We 2,000 tons, 3 tons, 3 tons of food served throughout that section of North Philadelphia. It made news, it made headlines. Pass it out. A good friend of mine is in here, Brother Tommy, which I don't have no problem. Sometimes I wish not to be heard or seen. Here you go. And you can look at this one right here.
Solid.
You gonna help me out, Sally? Here you go, Sally. Very good, brother. Pass it around. And you can just pass the article. And you can read it while you have a chance, and I'll get more of them for you. But that's the article where right in front of the projects, which are about to be knocked down, by the way. Lumberg projects. Yes. Yeah. Right in front of that project building, me and friends seized land. We wanted to make a statement to the world. In the most food insecure section of Philadelphia, in the most violent project buildings, housing complex in the country, we are going to build an ecological paradise and feed every child. Whoever wants to eat, eat. And there was no gates around it. And there was nothing but food coming out of the ground. And we built an actual educational center out of actual materials that were discarded in the neighborhood right there for the children. It was on the news for it was on the news. It went up. Urban agriculture and urban gardening, they said, will be one of the #1 things that's going to solve the food insecurity issue of the modern world within cities. Not just in America. In Africa right now, black people just like us, our family over there, are in the streets taking empty land and are growing food in Ghana at large rates. So when the scripture says, out of the old desolation, out of the old waste cities, you shall build a new city, a new place, a new kingdom. They're talking about you, and it seems like you got the accreditation by nature to do it. With no college. With no college. Some people couldn't even read. The cotton gin was not produced by Eli Whitney. Stop it. What the hell he need with a cotton gin? Why man ain't gonna, what he need, he's not the one picking it.
Right.
So why would he build a machine to deal with it? You always have been, you've always been the ones building out of the desolation. Tell me one time that the black woman and black man did not save America. Superman. Is that why he wrote the book From Superman to Man, J.A. Rogers? Tell me one time when you have not saved this planet. I'm not even talking about in antiquity. I'm talking about right now. Give me one. Can't fight. We always here. We are the light and the salvation of this world. All that nigger syndrome, gangster, pimp, whore, none of that. That's a lie. It's garbage. Somebody created those images and implanted them in us and geared us to that. That's not who we are. This place wouldn't even rotate without you. Shiloh, I want to ask you a question, brother. What do you want to do when you get older? You want to be a pastor? What am I doing right now? I'm speaking, I'm teaching. So that you won't go too far out, you two are inheriting a whole planet. And not just you two, but many other children around the world. All praise is due to the Creator. And therefore, you're going to have the keys and the tools to build it. We have something called the Philadelphia Peace Park. which is recognized and known and seen. I'm going to show you clips of it, where we actually help children learn how to grow food and learn how to create electricity as well as adults. It is an actual place where we do environmental science education. The first plot of the new Philadelphia Peace Park, New Philly Peace Park, is at 21st and Jefferson. Right down the way. And if anybody wants to go see it, we can go see it later on. And you can go actually pick food right now. There's nothing that will stop you from getting food. And I'm one of the people who actually helped start.
This grass on 21st and Jefferson.
And we need more people to help us build more and to transport more soil. And none of this is being given by any outside people but us from the muscle. Just to show the world we can do it. And it don't cost much. Spare wood and just going to get soil.
Right.
What does that cost?
Where do
And
you get the soil from?
you have soil spots in the city around the recycling center. That soil section. But we have food already growing for families. Now here's a little hint for you. Sisters have something called, of course, and I'm not trying to put nobody on the spot, menstrual cycles. Right? And in those cycles you have something that's called hemorrhaging. And most of the hemorrhaging is happening from bad diet, stress, and violence. That's what that hemorrhaging comes from. The stress from the environment, the bad food, psychological warfare being attacked at you from the society. But in the midst of losing that amount of blood, you have to understand that the anemia that you have comes from the fact that every time you lose iron, you have to what? Replace it. Now, here's how demonic and satanic these people are. They have you taking iron pills. There's nothing to supplement iron from a real plant. And if you want to reboost the iron in your system, the best thing to do is to juice green plants and to drink chlorophyll. Brothers, to regenerate our cycle. Oh yes, because everything on earth is under the cycles. You need to actually drink chlorophyll. Chlorophyll helps to reboost the iron in your system. Now some people will just say, okay, I'm gonna sell you a chlorophyll drink. I'm not one of them people. I'm sorry. I am a gorilla. I'm crazy. I'm insane. I'm out of my mind. I don't care. I'm losing it day by day. Because intelligence means a lot to me. How long are we going to be empty consumers, y'all? When are we going to start growing and making, like you dress? That's why I was so happy when you told me that. Thank you. You got 1,000 people you're going to teach now, and I'm going to make sure you teach them. Right? We're going to get to a point where it's now time, and not even getting there, we're already there. We're going to grow the leafy green vegetables you need to regenerate the magnesium and zinc and iron in your blood. This will take away from the high levels of anemia in the system. This will take away from the weak semen. And of course here at Black and Nobel, we have something called sea moss, which is a plant that grows in the water. Bring it on up, brother. Just for the people to know that it's here.
That's my work right there. I love
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
What's this good for?
Sea moss
See more work?
or it's chlorophyll?
So, see more.
Sea moss, okay, here we go, y'all.
50 pounds. How big was when I first
Oh yeah, he was a lot bigger. He thinning out up in here, especially up in this climate. You will thin out. And we be drinking that.
This is no. And I don't like they make drinks out of it. Eat it raw. It has no taste.
No,
it
it
has
don't
a
taste like
taste. Anything natural.
Yeah.
So it's no additive. I mean, it helps your digestive system.
Can I see it? 'Cause I'm gonna go over it.
Yeah. Well, hey, I never heard nobody really break it down like him. Bro, for real.
I always use it. I come in here and get it all the time. So you already know what I do.
Yeah.
You know. See moss on bus.
Now, I've been rocking with sea moss and been experimenting with this for years. And when I first came across it, I was in my early 20s, late teens. But how you use it? Number one, you soak it in water. I want you to pay attention because you know what? We're going to get some of this, and I want them to actually see what it looks like. This is a living plant and organism. Let me say it again. Moss is a part of the flora and bacteria family, correct?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go back to science class. You want to survive this thing? Let's go back to science.
Come from nothing.
Comes from the waters. It's
You know,
related-
it manifests itself like bacteria.
Exactly.
So let's go to the single cell bacteria, which is amoeba. Come on.
Bird.
Let them know what water it comes from.
Oh yeah, we gonna go over
Yeah,
those.
all right, okay.
Now,
What?
it's sea moss. Okay, bring the drinks up. Now, this, when you put it in water,
Pace, yeah,
this
pace.
this is what it turns into.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is sea moss as a drink. Thank you. Yeah, I want the boys to be able to. Can we manifest this?
Yeah,
Can we
yeah,
use
yeah,
this?
yeah, no question.
We're gonna go and actually soak this tonight, and by the time you wake up in the morning, you're gonna see some beautiful
Nah, they
things.
just take a whole pack on with you.
Cool. Okay.
Just take
Yeah,
a whole
that's my
pack.
personal.
Oh,
Let me-
oh, praise the All right.
Right. Y'all go ahead and touch it, you gotta get rinsed anyway.
Right.
All right.
He said, hold on, let me get that back.
Well, it's your personal, brother. Take it.
Oh, I mean, they can touch it, they
Okay,
can rinsed
so-
anyway, so you
yeah.
can see how it feels.
Right.
You know?
Now, moss is related to the
Anybody ain't never
actual.
see, y'all pass it.
You have moss that grows on rocks,
Mhm.
and then you have the moss that grows in water. This is the moss that grows in water. It is a living plant and organism. That's why when you put it in the water, it immediately expands because it's feeding on the water
Right.
immediately. Now, what's inside of it, of course? We're talking about all the minerals you need. 92 trace minerals
Mhm.
in sea moss.
How many?
92.
How many is in your body? Let them know that.
That's 98 to 100 that you use automatically. Now, 92 trace minerals. Yes. Oh, please let me finish. For men, regeneration of the blood and regeneration, of course, of your semen.
Yeah.
Sea moss. Semen, sea moss. So that means it also have the natural salts for the body.
Right.
For women, if you wanted to do, say you breastfeeding, this will help regenerate your blood and your iron, magnesium in the system. But if you don't want to breastfeed, you can use certain portions of sea moss and prepare an actual drink for the children as milk for the baby because it has the same consistency and mineral content.
But breastfeeding.
Nature is our salvation. God is known through nature. God ain't known through some abstract thought and somewhere else. I'm sorry. We have it. You have it. And when you let it, okay, you can heat it up if you want to warm the water up. Make it into the whole entire, I guess you could call it.
Don't throw the water out.
Yeah.
Right.
Because some of the minerals
It's
get
all,
dropped
it's
in the water.
gonna gel up.
Yep.
Gel up.
It's gonna gel up. Yeah, I know you make mine
I
sit
would recommend you use.
I put mine in my, like I make natural smoothies,
Spring
and I
water
work out a lot.
works.
So I take it and put it in my
One
smoothie with my
time,
fruit
spring
and
water.
the yogurt, and I just drink them like that.
One time.
Yeah. You know?
Now,
It's easy.
let's make the connection.
So where you grow from?
Okay, now the water that it comes from. This comes from Belize. In Belize, Honduras area.
South America.
Central South America. Central and South America.
Yes, sir.
Now, that's where this comes from. So, what's the connection now, right? Do you notice that every answer to every problem we're dealing with can be found in nature?
Nature.
Did we not say in this scripture right here that from the former desolations we were going to build new worlds? Well, how are you going to do that? The only way you can make that happen if you comprehend the earth that you're walking on, the waters that you're drinking every day, the air that you're breathing, the light or the solar photonic energy that comes into the earth. That's how you're going to rebuild this planet. And you are already genetically aligned and ready for it. We started making these sea mosses and these drinks. We've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years and thousands of years. And then now they throughout the year they get Irish moss. Why did they call it Irish moss? Because the Irish was eating
stole
it.
the idea. Yeah.
That's a- but no, let's be real. Still, how can somebody? Come on, y'all. Let's get. History is qualified to do what? Reward all research. Who started the country of Ireland?
We did.
We did.
Thank you. So they ain't steal it. You what? You taught them.
Yeah.
They gonna steal something from God. I'm sorry, you can't do it. They're messing with your memory. I keep telling you they messing with your head. Raise you up to feel that you're a slave. Ain't nothing slave about you. Slaves can't do what we are doing. We are not a race of slaves. We got to get that out of our children's heads immediately. I'm tired of hearing about it, but I'm telling you, this year they said, Levi, we want you to come in and do Black History Month, African History Month. And I said, okay, well, guess what? We are going way beyond shackles and slavery and slave boats. Or maybe somebody need to tell you who made the boats. Because okay, don't make me do it, y'all. Because I do the history test every time. Can I do it? Okay. Spanish Inquisition, Moorish occupation of Spain. Moors were told to leave Spain and were kicked out of Spain. Black people, Moors, Morenos, were moved and kicked and expelled out of Spain around the 1450s. The Spanish Inquisition happens in the 1490s. And 1555, 1560, 1540, they say that the earliest slave vessels were being shipped to this region of the world, correct? Mm-hmm. So that means there's only 100 to 50 to 100 year difference between you ruling the very people who put you on slave ships. Mm-hmm. That's not sitting well with me with the slave syndrome. 2 generations. So then we're going to have to ask the question, what did black people do? We sold ourselves out through empires. Because the black families of the world were becoming divided. You had 3 different groups of Moors. They were all not the same. You had the West African Moor coming from Mali who came in and actually were the majority of those who actually went up into Europe. You had the North African Moors in Egypt who came over with their own attitude. And then you had other people from Asia and other parts of Europe that had their own attitude. And the conflict started between the different empires. And when it all went down, they said, well, excuse my French, F you niggas. Get all out. And they weren't talking about just one. They said, no, them. We talking about you dark-skinned chocolate cats. Get out. And said, never again, what did he say? Never again shall we let the Moors reign. So that's why this part of time in history or legacy is not talked about. Don't you feel kind of weird? Don't it seem kind of strange to you? You just appear on a slave ship, and then somebody tell you about the Moors ruling in Europe, and you be like, well, hold up. Right. This is what you taught me. Black people never had empires. That's how it was taught to us in school. Yeah. Okay. Then you go a little further and you say, oh, well, here's all these empires. And you say, well, let's look at the year of the empires. And you look at the year of the empires, and then you compare it to slavery, and you say, well, there's something missing in between.
2 grandmothers.
Yeah, 2 grandmothers, but there's something else. What happened? We sold each other out. The inside fighting of the empires of black people that were not directly European. When they found the weakness within the Moorish Empire, then they said, it's over, guys. We can get some of their own people to shoot them.
And you know what's strange? We also have the history about the black presidents. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden they was in office and then they wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, and erased their name from the marker. Mm-hmm. So, see, again, keeping things out of the record, okay, break the word down, record, record, keeping you disconnected from your umbilical cord is the way we control you. Let's confuse you. Let's take away your nationality. Let's take away your natality, your nativity. Let nobody know where you came from. They flipped it on us. They talked about how important the father is. I said, okay, yeah, really? But when you go study any genetics test, everybody knows you can know exactly where you come from by your what? Your mother. Black people come from a matriarchal social structure.
Father is always a question.
Right. So, thank you, brother. You're going to prove my point. Thank you. So, yes.
Mama's baby, Papa's
baby. So, how is it now? They talk about messing with your nationality. That means keeping you disconnected from your mother's lineage.
Right.
So, they got to destroy the record. They got to destroy the umbilical cord, the record. Record. I got to disconnect you from your cord. So every time, and this is in psychological trauma of it all is that Africans, not only in this part of the world, bless you, but black people all around the world, that includes India, Yemen, Brazil, Solomon Islands, you name it. I want to get away from the West and let's go all the way east. Let's go into all them Asian countries too, with the nappy-headed black people that's right there, like your two little brothers right here, right?
Cambodia.
Oh God. Okay. Etymology class. Everybody say Cam. Everybody say Bodia. Everybody say Bodhi. Cam means black. Bodhi means to sprout forth. Enlightenment. Buddha. Black enlightened ones. Cambodia. And what was the #1 island that Buddhism flourished on? Cambodia. Angkor Wat. Ankh or what? Ankh or what? Cambodia. The island of the Champas. Nang Champa. That's where they get the incense from. These were men who went from Yemen, Africa, to the islands, trading in spices and animals. Get the book African Presence in Early Asia by Ranoko Rashidi, one of my teachers. African Presence in Early Asia. See, and everywhere you have gone, they have flipped the image of God from black to white. These are not things that I've written or I'm just saying out of my head, my mouth. If you want to see, that's why I say when you come to my class, bring a pen, bring a book.
Nature knows no color.
Nature knows no color line. I'm about to go even older. Sir Godfrey Higgins, Anacalypsis. 1860s, 1870s, the book was written. He says that every time we went to go find an image of God, we seen a black man and woman.
I go older. Ruins of Empire.
Count Boney. Count Boney. And that book was outlawed by Thomas Jefferson.
You know what he said? He said, we are the people that created the arts, the science, and everything that was used in everyday life. He said he's looking at them
In shackles.
in the pits and hells of no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Direct quote. The same people we have enslaved today that we call barbarians are the same people who are responsible for art, science, and mathematics.
Direct quote. I'm trying to break it down.
1789.
Stupid.
Thomas Jefferson outlaws the book. Thomas Jefferson also was a Rosicrucian. And was a deep Egyptologist and kept a black mystic woman that he raped and had sex magic rituals with all the time. That's why he had children.
And he tried to write his own Bible.
Yep. Thank you. Say it again for us, sister. Say that one more.
He tried to write his own
And he
Bible.
tried to write his own Bible. And where did he used to hang out at? Him and the other brother, Franklin, used to hang out in a place called Paris, France. And France, Paris was that place of the Blue Lodge. That was one of the headquarters of the, what you now like to sit up here, Illuminati.
Oh.
And the name of the city is Paris. Now sisters pay attention, brothers definitely pay attention, but sisters tune in. Per, Isis, Paris. Per means house, Isis is the goddess, the house of the goddess. House of Isis, right. And in France is where they did rituals, sex rituals with black women, and they worshiped black women there.
What did you say the crime was?
Per, in hieroglyph, PR or PER means house. The word pharaoh really means house. It doesn't mean king. It means, it's like saying the White House. So they would say pharaoh, but it's really Nasut. That's the real word for king or sultan. Pharaoh was the word for the royal house. Per in Kemetic means house. Per, Isis, Paris. And it is one of the major locations for the secret society that most people refer to as the Illuminati. Now, I ask this question to black people every day. And I said, this is going to be the year I'm going to get you out of your spookism. What is the symbol for the Illuminati?
I'll see an eye in the pyramid.
And a pyramid. Who built the pyramids?
Us.
So what's the point of this secret society that scares you to death? You scared of yourself. I told you everything that's about you, they make the world scared of it. It's the scarecrow effect. Let me keep you away from getting what belongs to you. So they're demon worshippers. So everybody sitting there like this. I'm not gonna read that stuff. Boy, you gonna get my face with that stuff. And I'll be like, yup, spooked out. Got you. Got you. Just where I want you at. You'll never get these mysteries. For the simple fact that you believe somebody named the devil made it up, and I'm like, well, the devil's a real powerful dude. He can take your history, then give it back to you, and then make you scared of it. You are going to be the builders of the new world. The new world order belongs to you. There is no new world order without black people. Every time they initiate in European power, and they can test it, go to any of your secret society books. Go to any country around the world. Whenever they're ready to initiate anything, they need your blessing. Philadelphia is a very royal city because of what? There's something sitting on the parkway that makes it such a beautiful place.
Pyramid.
Oh yeah, the pyramid. It's the mound pyramid that your Native American ancestors, the Lenape, boys listen, there were black people in Philadelphia before. They called them Native Americans and Indians. They were called the Lenape, copper tone to brown skinned people. We're not talking about some light, bright-skinned people with long hair, with high cheekbones that look like the Indians in your textbooks. We're talking about people that look like you.
Is that that piece that sit there where it looked like they creeping up from behind the sister that's sitting there?
Yeah.
And she's sitting there like over top of the, I don't know if it was like bodies, but it like they trying to come from behind her.
They are.
And
The whole art
ambush.
museum is riddled with conquests of original people. Well, let me tell you who's responsible for it and why I say that this is your ancestors talking to you. We good? Okay. Listen. Yo, turn around for a second. You need to hear this. A black man designed the art museum. Some of you know this already. But let me tell you a little bit more about it that they haven't shared. That art museum is patterned after an ancient Greek temple. It's the temple of Athena. It's the temple of wisdom. The temple of Athena was financed by African Egyptian money. The people who were responsible for building temples in Europe and Greece were all the students who came out of the Egyptian mystery systems. They brought philosophy into Europe. Europeans, Greeks did not want to deal with mysticism. They did not want to deal with no philosophy. Did they kill Plato? Did they kill Socrates?
Murdered. Knocked him off.
Did they kill every philosopher that came to Europe?
Knocked him off.
Or ran them out.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, if they murdered Socrates, if they murdered Plato, Herodotus, and all these people, knocked them all off, right? So what it's really telling you is that naturally philosophy is not a European invention. Okay, we in Black and Nobel, we in the bookstore, so you know I gotta go there. Write the name of the book down, Stolen Legacy, G.M. James.
George M. James.
Yes, George M. James. He was murdered for writing the book, tongue cut out his mouth.
Yes, sir.
So, you are those builders. You are those people that they're talking about. Can I switch on for us? Can I switch off? Now, you know what you're able, what you can do. I didn't want to stay too long in this. But if your ancestors bless your hands, see these digits right here? Malcolm said to me one day, you're going to have to, instead of working as individuals, you're going to have to ball these digits up, and you're going to have to swing with them, right? Booker T. Washington said, you got to bring them all together to do the work you got to do and lift in those buckets. I'm glad to be of the African race, and I don't find it offensive at all to be the hewer of stone, nor the lifter of a bucket of water. Because if you're going to build a house, you might as well get used to buckets of water, because you need buckets of water to build a house. And you need to know how to lay bricks to build a house. So that means you're going to have to learn how to chisel also. So let's take the inferiority away from your ancestors for a minute. There's nothing inferior about being a field hand. I feel sorry for the people who can't grow food in the 21st century. This is where the Creator comes in. Listen to me. We're going to have fun growing food. That's what we're going to do. You're already genetically programmed in creation to do it, and do it better than anybody else on the planet. And the number one problem of the 21st century is food security. Sisters, I love you. I'm glad you're here. I want to see more. Not because of any other crazy idea, but when you see brothers, y'all know this as well as I do. When the sisters are ready to make the call, see, the babies are here. Things happen.
Yeah.
And it happens
Yeah.
fast, very fast. And when we get away from that little petty, it's just about me and my vanity and my materialism. See, I don't want to put a ring on your hand. I want to put a house over your head. Look at $3,000 ring. See, yeah, when you start getting when things start going real bad, you take the ring off your finger, you got party. So, see, there it is. So you might as well ask for, can you build a house? That should be your question when you meet the man. See, there you go, sister. Right. See, it works too. Would you need some help building a house? See, these are the questions you should be asking your mate. And brothers, you should ask her, do you have a problem picking up a hammer, sister? I come from a woman that picked up hammers, so I don't care. I'm kind of scared of any woman who doesn't pick up a hammer. And sisters, you should wonder about a dude who won't want to get his hands dirty. This is why I ask you something. I'm not an expert at everything, but I do know I know some things. So what I do know, I'm gonna use. I'm only here to inspire something to happen, something good to happen. That's my main job. Not to change people's minds, not to make you believe something. You're gonna believe what you're gonna believe anyway. You'll come around, do it when it's your time. But our main thing is that we have to deal with reality. Now, if the land, I'm sorry, brother, go ahead, question.
I just heard on my way up here that the Pope visited a prison out here. I think Harrisburg, something like that.
Yeah.
Can you just speak about?
He did a lecture, I think. Over
Again, I'm trying. Listen, family.
He wouldn't let nobody else come but Catholic.
Right.
Only Catholic prisoners.
Did the same thing in New York, same thing in DC.
Right.
Now,
too.
Right.
family, let me make this very clear to you. Because they know how uneducated and cultivated you are, and how much you look up to them, you'll get the message pretty twisted. That's why I think I'm glad I opened the scriptures today. Now, why is he going to do this? Because here's why. Most of the ill repute, backwards thinking in history we've studied today, the psychic trauma that we're going through today, I'm not scared to say it, and that's why they keep apologizing. The reason why you're going through psychic trauma is because of him. I know my head is on the damn plate right now. I didn't want to have to talk this way, but I'm going to have to tell you the truth. The psychic trauma that black people and the world is going through today, that means all of the world, and in particularly you, African, is because of religion.
That's right.
The Vatican Catholic Church signed the Pope Edict that all Sarcians and Moors, the lands where the indigenous Sarcians and Moors were at, was open to all Roman Catholics to take. So it opened up the door for European powers to look at Africa and say, you're nothing but an animal and cursed by God. They created this philosophy. And not just them, but everybody in cahoots who wrote and rewrote and rewrote and rewrote your history to the point where they tried to write you out of it and then keep your name in the book. I said, oh, you must think I'm illiterate. Changed the face and kept their name. I didn't want to have to say it. I was really trying to hold it back. I didn't want to say nothing bad about Pope. But I don't have nothing, Pope Francis is a cool dude. I seem like dude is alright to me. I'm not going to say nothing personal about him.
He ain't alright, he's a Jesuit.
Hey, don't even start it. Don't make me
Found out his name this weekend.
She ain't on camera.
That's the thing. My head is already on the platter, family, so please, let's not take this any deeper.
That shit around, let her say.
Oh, I was down there, and let me tell you something. They was protesting down there.
A lady got arrested for what?
The water stuff she was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going.
No, just to clear it up.
That's why I'm holding mine.
Yeah. So I'm not. But listen. I talk facts. I'm not. That's why I said this particular person knows, and he's from Argentina. He's not from Europe. At least him, not directly. That's a whole other story. And they know what has happened. They tortured us, family. Psychic trauma is induced through torture. We went over this in one of my classes. Tort means to change your direction. And what they did was they changed our direction and changed our memories. So, yeah, he has to go to the prisoners and proclaim the glad tidings to prisoners. Because y'all made him prisoners. So now you're going to have to bring him out of his prison. Bring him out of the tombs. They put Marcus Garvey in the tombs in New York, the prison tombs, meaning he was underground. Do you know what they used, what they did to us in the tombs? All over the world, there was tombs and places built to torture the indigenous people out of their mind. Listen, y'all, I don't talk from no crap. I go to the walls. I'm a bookman, bookman. So I'm a bookman. So bookman. So bookman says,
Wall shackles, gags.
come on.
Guillotine.
Hey,
Oh,
whips and chains, how they excite me. Be careful of what you let children listen to. So, I said it. They know who I'm talking to. Whips and chains excite me. BDSM, where do you think that came from? Flagellation? It's all from the Catholic Church, family. You got some twisted stuff and leather, wearing leather and black and beating people till they pass out. And yeah, that's how this happened. And nobody, they say, don't talk about it. Levi, don't talk about it. But here it is right here. The book your church doesn't want you to read. And this goes over a whole technique that an actual Catholic priest, what he did to Native Americans and black people. How he beat them, made them, and beat them into submission into their faith, which is not faith. It's called mind control. There you go. And here's for the people out there. So nobody can sit up and say, Levi, you're talking. Hey,
No, we got part 2 too.
Yeah, we got part 2 right up there. Thank you, brother.
You got part 2 to the book?
Yes, it's right there.
Right next to it.
So let's stay on focus with it. Once your indigenous memory is clicked on, and one of the easiest things to click on in black people is your ability to create things and your ability to heal through music and sound. Black people are psychic. I know you are. You all have similar dreams at night. And you know they have a saying, when people start having the same dreams and they start meeting each other, things start happening. And I can bet my bottom dollar that everybody in this room is having a similar or same dream. And the dream that we're having is of a new world, because it is ours by birthright. And this is not to say that anybody else on earth is not supposed to be here and we supposed to rule over people and kill them and murder them. That's a whole nother word. That's another story, another time. You are the leaders of the world. Get that slave crap, get it out of our heads right now. It's not real. Slavery is a myth. Slaves were not brought to America. Prisoners of war were brought to America. None of your ancestors ever called themselves slaves. Go back 200, 150 years, 200 years. Not one person in your family ever said there was a slave. And if they did, they only said it, oh yeah, another good book. Scapegoat, yeah. None of them ever called themselves slaves. Someone else called them slaves. The word slave comes from the word Slavic. And the Slavic people were a group of European, Eurasians, who were enslaved and captive by another group of Europeans. And that word slave comes from the word Slavic. Hence Yugoslavia, the Russian territories. And if you always notice, Europe always had a problem with the Russian territories. You ever peep it? So those were their slaves, their Slavs. And then when they put us in captivity, they put that slang word on us. We are prisoners of war. Nobody just walked in Africa or in Asia or anywhere in this country and just put you in shackles. It didn't happen that way. It was a fight put up, believe me. Somebody was fighting. Nobody just walks and put themselves in chains. Their kingdoms were at war and they sold each other to other people. And by the time we woke up and found out the trickery and the deceit that was happening between nations, we realized we were prisoners of war. Which is why America has a treaty with Morocco, 1787. There's a treaty between America and an African country. And this treaty says that we should not enslave the Moors, and the Moors shall not enslave the Christians, i.e. Europeans. See the game?
You said the treaty was with who?
Morocco. See, this is the game. So we got to get out of that mind state. Period. We are prisoners of war. We are not slaves. And as prisoners of war, we did what any other prisoners would do. We took on the ways of the people who oppressed us. We had to assimilate into this oppression. Assimilate or die was the whole thing. But the beauty of the Most High is that you can make a person assimilate, but you can't change initially who and what they are. What they've been able to do is make you feel bad about it. I won't be on no plantation growing no food. Why wouldn't you? It seems that when the black man and black woman was growing their own food, they was in their right state of mind and was doing great things. Now that we're not growing food, we have bad health, bad behavior, and bad parenting practices. When people grow their own food and when they're agriculturalists, they raise their children differently. They raise their children. Learning how to grow food is the same science as learning how to raise children. It's the same science. The same science in plant. Brothers, listen. Everything I say is coded. The same science in planting a seed into a woman is the same science as growing food from the ground. There's a certain time when you have to place the seed, right, sisters? Mm-hmm. And there's a certain thing you have to do with that seed. You have to check on that seed, what? Every day. And you got to water it. You got to water it, right? And you got to shine light on it. Black roses, right? Yeah. And you got to shine light every day. And then you got to let it sit in blackness and develop and build itself up with love. It's the same science. But they took that and made that into something that seems what? Depressing and downgrading. And now who's the number one people that want to get involved in growing food everywhere? Thank you. Say it again. Europeans. And I know plenty of them. I don't got no hate for nobody. I got love for all life. I say it's anybody. I believe I hate no, I don't hate nobody. I just got to tell the truth. Right? So we have to start growing food. If we're going to give birth to these seeds, we're going to have to give birth to those seeds, because these seeds need those seeds. And those seeds need these seeds. They need the children, and the children need the food.
What are this type of vegetables to grow in this time in winter time?
Okay, you got certain like cabbage type. There's certain things like wintercress.
My kale made it all the way
Kale.
to November last year. Middle of November.
Wintercress, kale, watercress, kale.
My scallions never die.
Scallions, thank you, brother.
They grow natural anyway, don't they?
And certain types of tubers.
Just like ginger.
Tubers are plants that grow all like potatoes, yams. They all grow underground. If you start right now, you only got to about late November for them to survive. And after that, everything has to be harvested. Yes.
If you want to start growing food, is there some, you can't just do it, right?
Why
Don't you
can't
have
you?
to get like, I don't know,
It's
just,
a natural order.
you don't, like, you remember we was talking, can you just do it without, I don't know, government coming in and.
Well,
collecting rainwater is illegal.
Okay, thank you. I knew somebody was going to bring this
collecting
up.
rainwater is illegal.
Yes. But
Yeah.
wait a minute, family. Wait a minute, family.
Somebody got
Some
locked
rain
up.
catches cold food.
Collecting rainwater is not illegal, but what they did was they tried to create an actual policy to control water sources. Oh, welcome to the environmental war. You're in it. Keeping you from being okay. There's a book. I always mention books for a reason, because anything I say, I don't want you to take what I say on face value.
Sauce.
And Ayn Rand wrote a book called Atlas Shrugged, or Atlas Struggle. In that book, she's a humanist. In the book, she writes this policy where you are not allowed to have more than 7 days worth of food, 14 days worth of food. And it was put under executive orders. Then,
Let me speak on that, bro, real quick. That's why the grocery store is only has 3 days of rations.
Yeah.
So all that coincide together. So when the order and it's definitely gonna come. If you ain't got your own food.
right here is the whole step of getting lots of copies before you leave. And so we'll do it by law, so no one feels like you're teaching you how to break the law. However, because we are in what we would consider a famine, this is a famine. Whenever you got 4,500 children, yes sir, 4,000, thank you, 4,500 children not eating, that's famine. Whenever people don't have more than 7 days worth of food, to 14 days worth of food, that's social control. That's a violation of your human rights, if anybody is recognizing them. And since most people don't even have the document, nor even take it to court, nor even have it in their home, neither has it on their door, nor practice their human rights, it's easily taken.
Well, Brother Levi, we really don't have to have 3 meals a day.
No. You don't have to have a meal every day anyway. You can if you want to, if you need to. But no, 1 meal a day is actually the teaching of the prophet. It's the teaching of Elijah, Muhammad. And I will call him the prophet.
Fasting.
Cactus juice. Maple syrup, water. Cactus.
Cayenne pepper.
Because it all has all the minerals that you need to survive, and it will clean you out, and your immune system will be boosted. As you get waste out of the system, the immune system automatically, the lymphatic system, immune system they call it, lymphatic system automatically gets rebooted. I'm going to show you the books in here that you can use for that information too. It's called Holistic Health and Medicine. I think there's one either on the front wall up there on the side, or there's one right there called Nutricide by Dr. Apple. And he has a lot of different, and we also have the DVDs here.
It's a walking library.
Thank you. So, now, I want to read some of this to you before I move on. This is, and I know I don't want to, so here we go. Hunger of the Body and Hunger of the Mind, African American Women's Perception of Food Insecurity and Health and Violence. Study in Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, 19120, 19121, zip code. This test was done by University of Pennsylvania. I was in Temple when I found these papers online, looking for evidence for my court case. This is court. You wanted to say whether we was living in a famine? I'm gonna move on. I know, brother. I know. I hear you. I owe you one. Because it's such a large paper, I'm just gonna get on with it. They organized this paper with 29 women, black women, from North Philadelphia, and they asked them questions on what's hurting them. And they organized it in 3 parts. Hunger of the mind, hunger of the body. I'm going to read what the sisters wrote and what the sisters said. They didn't write anything. Hunger of the mind, and this is, okay, I'll start with hunger of the body. You can't lay with yourself comfortable. That's in quotes. And this is what Mona says. Mona is age 43. No, there is no last names. This is a health study. You cannot use people's last names. My refrigerator was so empty. I was so hungry. I went inside the market. I had to put food back. I didn't have enough money to get what I needed for my body. Mona, age 43, food insecure with hunger. I'm just going to read this, what they said. Celeste, age 25, food insecure with hunger. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was living without running water for 6 months. Damn. I used to eat chicken wings and hoagies every day. Oh, now, this is a scientific paper. So in brackets, the science community put a hoagie is a Philadelphia specific submarine sandwich or a
Really
sandwich
gotta
on a
break it
fish
down,
roll
though, really?
with processed meat such as salami or ham. Salami, that's
No
another
turkey.
joke.
Oh,
Right.
man. Right.
Cheese, lettuce,
Right.
and tomatoes and oil. And this is what she says. So I know the meaning of struggling. I was pregnant and half the days I didn't eat, and the other half days I did. So I know the meaning of being hungry and wanting food, being without lights and being without water and being without gas. I know the struggling parts of wanting nourishment and substance in your body. That's Celeste, age 25. See, I only talk reality. I don't talk no garbage. This is real stuff. Here's another one. Jolene, age 48, food insecure, without hunger. I know how it feels to be so hungry until you feel like you can't walk. You can't sit. You can't lay with yourself comfortable. And I know how it also feels to be so hungry you feel like you eat of just about anything. Wow. Jolene, age 48, food insecure. The next bracket that they put this under, stress, depression, and the need for spiritual food. The comments of Tress and Yolanda were typical at the time of her interview. Tress was living with her young adult son and she was unemployed. She explained she was currently earning cash through sex work. I found this in the science papers. She described multiple health problems but explained she had no health insurance. She sought health care at the Free Women's Clinic only when she saw something as urgent. When Tress was asked about how she saw the relationship between food and her health, she described her inability to eat or to hold in food. She explained that this situation related to her sense of chronic extreme stress. And this is the quote. Nothing is stressing me except welfare. They had me come up there 3 times, and then they finally tell me that my son makes too much money to justify getting food stamps. Yeah, that's really stressful. That's when you think you're going to get it that day. Because you bring everything necessary documents. They say to bring. Yeah, I guess the bills more or less. That's how I feel, a little. And that's probably why my stomach ain't been holding food. That's Tress, age 40. Thank you, brother. I couldn't. Yeah, we do it. We got enough. Everything's enough. Thank you. Okay. Now, I'm hungry too. I'm waiting. I'm going with you. When you ain't got food, you get depressed. And you stress because you stress yourself trying to figure out how you're going to get it. How you're going to get it. That's the biggest thing. Who am I going to call? Where am I going to go? What I'm going to get next? Yolanda, 55, food insecure and hunger. I can keep going on. This is actual reports that they took from women, interviews. Now, family, you don't see the connection between Isaiah 61, verse 4, and this happening? You are going to have to build a new society from the old waste. From the old, I'll read it for you. And they shall build the old waste. They shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities. 40,000 vacant lots. Land everywhere. And women, brothers, we should be ashamed. I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to put that crown on me. Not a crown of glory, crown of shame. We should be ashamed of ourselves. With that much land open to us. Women are wondering, and if women are wondering, that means children are wondering. Women are wondering how they're going to survive and eat. When there's enough land and every step you take for food to be produced everywhere, from your backyard to your front yard, to the empty lot, to the top of your roof. We are living in a what? A human rights violation. When this 40,500 children, I guess who's one of those children counted among the 40,500? You. You. North Philadelphia is counted among those who are food insecure. nature is showing you it's time to move. Your ingenuity and creativity is telling you something must change. Sitting back just becoming mere consumers is over with. Anytime I can sit with European, and I'm going to say it, European friends of mine, because I got friends in all walks of life, and I'm supposed to, and you supposed to, ain't no hate. Anytime we sitting and I'm saying, hey, let's move out and grow food. We downtown, everybody protesting. There's 10% of the population controlling 99% of the population. 1% rules 99%. Y'all remember that?
Mhm.
I was down there. I had to shake them up. I had to get on their case. I said, y'all really want to do something that's going to make a difference? Let's grow food for the people. Sure. Because this ain't the whole story. The city, children your age was growing food, and I'm going to take you there.
I ain't even cut you off, but what about the tomb with the seeds?
The tomb.
With the seeds.
Oh, and what's the name that they grown?
Mhm.
They got like one of, remember we was here building
Got
last
every
time?
seed.
One of every seed. Remember we was here last
Oh.
time we was over there building in the corner?
Right.
I came here, and that's what we talking about, up in, I forgot where it's at.
It's cold over
It's
there.
cold wherever it's at, and they got one.
The climate is cold where it's at. It's like 30 feet underground.
Oh yeah, you
Alaska?
talking about in the poles, Alaska,
Alaska?
and all the cold. Okay, let me explain. Thank
You
you.
got the
And
seed.
all of the cold
They got
places.
one of every seed of everything.
Yeah, it's called a seed bank.
The seed bank. That's it.
And the North Pole and Alaska, in certain northern regions as well as Antarctica, they have what you call seed banks. That's the original seed of every plant, or original root, seed, or cell of
Yes.
every plant that exists.
Yes.
Because, ladies and gentlemen,
That's
you
gotta
are
be a
not
big
eating.
place.
It's
You
30
are not
feet
eating-
under, and it's damn near half of the
Going
whole
around the
city.
world collecting every
Yeah.
seed.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
called
they
is a
do.
seed bank.
You don't even
They're-
see the entrance when you walk in.
There's 50 different kinds of apples.
They go
That's right.
Yeah,
everywhere.
just
and get
apples
seed.
alone, and we talking about every seed of
Every seed
plant,
of everything.
Right.
What's the name of that?
They got people that work for them that
Monsanto.
just travel the world to
They didn't
grab
get it all.
seeds.
No, there's no way they got it all.
They grab
Oh,
seeds.
well, Monsanto, here's the key to it, family.
These trees ain't just come yesterday. These
They're
are
devils,
built
man.
for
But
Yeah.
they growing food is,
Monsanto. What's going on, family?
they
It's
would get in
this.
trouble in hell for what they're doing.
Thank you. You threw a curveball, but don't throw that curveball yet. Right
You know I
now,
don't be here for your classes,
I know.
brother. I gotta participate.
heirloom seeds is what you got to get. Heirloom seeds are the original seed. HIERLOOM seed.
Heirloom seeds.
Right. Those are the seeds that are not genetically modified. These are the original seeds from the plants as they are.
Where would you look like?
What do they look like? The seeds that each plant gives off.
Where would you get them from? You can get them from Home Depot.
Yes. Well, no. Whoa.
I doubt
Go
that.
online. You can
They're
probably find
organic.
some, but go online and look up heirloom seed distributors
Okay.
first.
That guy that just left, they claim to have that.
Yeah, because what it is that you got to find the particular groups who are still collecting, and you got to start collecting seeds. Because guess what? The food that we're eating now and the seeds that we
It's
have,
now Cypher.
oh, now Cypher, thank you God, is only going to give you one generation. Are you with me? Brothers, if you're wondering why you're having problems with your genitalia,
Yeah.
if you want to know why you're having problems with your health, I said this in other classes, on other films. If you're eating food that can only give off one generation, then what does that say about you? You only say bye-bye. We're about to get weaker, and look at the children, look at the people.
Yeah.
Look at us, look at me, look at any of us.
Yeah.
Look at our ancestors and look how they were built, how they act, their behaviors, and look at the newer generations. We're getting weaker and weaker.
Speak for yourself.
I know.
I'm 45 going on 18.
I know that's right.
Brother, have you ever heard of something called earthing?
Yes. Earthing is when you take when you take off the shoes and you put your bare feet, your nerves on the ground, and you let the magnetic pull of the earth recharge your nervous system and your blood.
It's supposed. Okay. Got it.
And yes, and I do classes on earthing also. In fact, I make all children earth when
I
we go
found a
through.
book on it.
Really?
Yeah.
You're supposed to do earthing when you grow food.
Did
You're
you
not.
show us a movie on that one time?
When
Yes.
you grow food, that's
When you-
when you're supposed to walk barefoot?
Yes. Let me say it again. See, Africans, I told you it's beautiful being you, because guess who are the #1 people who walk with no shoes on now?
We
Europeans.
They doing
That's
it on
a
cement.
science. Yes, they walk everywhere with no.
They
It's a
doing it on
science.
concrete.
They walk across the earth with no shoes on, and you may see some of them walking past you.
Even the rappers, the boy Action Bronson, he all up in the club, no shoes on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Love.
Huh?
You're not supposed to be stepping on bubble gum and wine.
No, but I'm saying, no, but I'm saying like
But he's walking with no
he's
shoes
walking
on.
with no shoes on. All who you gonna see in the nightclub with no shoes
Yeah, I
on?
want to see that.
And that's somebody who feel that they have the power to do it also.
Right.
But see, that's wisdom. What really makes a person strong and powerful is the wisdom and how they carry themselves. See, hip hop freaked the world out with it because we took something that came from what they considered low society and it became a royal art form.
Right.
So now here we are earthing. Earthing is something that black people do all over the world. Anthony does that, but he comes from a tropical climate. And he can't keep shoes on his feet. But everybody want to know why he can't keep shoes on, because he feels free.
Right.
That means the energy is moving through his body a certain way. Biologically, he's at war. His biology says, tap in directly to your environment and feel the spirit of the people. But because there's glass everywhere, we gotta tell him, hey, bro, put your shoes on. So he's like, oh, I'm sorry. But see, it's natural. And that's what, when I teach children or anybody how to grow food, particularly in the warmer time of the year, I don't wear shoes in the garden at all. Because you can't get to other food unless you step on it. So I like to take my shoes off to feel what the soil feels like under my feet. Just from knowing what the soil feels like, I can tell you whether this ground is going to be easy to grow food. Because I can feel the soil under my foot and the texture of it.
So you're saying that we cannot do that unless we grow food?
I'm not saying that you have to do it that way, but I'm saying it will be wise to do it to get the benefit of the experience. Yes. That's a very beautiful thing to do. And all of us, before it gets very cold, should put our feet, we did it, and we got to take them to do it now. We got to take y'all out. We already took y'all to one creek. Now we got to take you to another creek. You got to take your shoes off, and you're going to put your feet naturally in running water on rocks. And we're going to take you up an elevation and help you see the rest of the city. So you can get a glimpse of where you live and what you live on. Your heart is going to feel different. You're going to start breathing different as we go up the hills. You know about that, of course.
Oh, just for everybody's general information, you coming off Route 1 Boulevard and you hit 76, you start passing the Art Museum, you can see the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah.
They didn't take the whole pyramid. The bottom layer, you can see the rocks stacked up and everything. It's sloppy, but you can tell it's a pyramid.
Yeah, and that's where they put the first waterworks. Because what you're okay, let me give you a little glimpse of what it used to look like. We was talking because we were sitting on a mound. You know what we were sitting on, that hill, is a mound. That means this was an old place where buildings were in ancient times, not just in modern times. Okay. The Native American people, the Lenape people. You know all you see on Boathouse Row? Boathouse Row has always existed. Native Americans used to live there. Native Americans used to live where that Boathouse Row is. And the whole idea of the routine, that comes from canoe racing. And Native Americans invented the canoe racing. And they taught canoe racing to the European. And under the art museum, there are tunnels that you can access by boat. Because originally all that was caves and mountains and mounds that you had to row into to get into the cave. Then you had to climb up the rest of the cave in the mound. And they put it on the Fair Mount, where all the tribes would gather for the central rituals. That's why all the buildings are lined up in Philadelphia, because all of them are built on top of natural altars that were built by Native American people. So,
Native America, are you speaking about us?
yes, because the Lenape, when you go to the Archaeology Museum of Pennsylvania, are brown-skinned, dark people. They are not these Not the Native American with the, light-skinned, straight-haired people. No, when you go to those museums, you're going to see brown-skinned to dark-skinned people. Okay? The Napi were not light-skinned people at all.
Turtle Island. What was
Turtle
Chief?
Island.
What was Chief? Was Chief
Tomanin, you talking about?
Yes.
Okay, this whole thing, America, is referred to as Turtle Island. Not just Philadelphia, not just Canada, North America, America, the United States of America, territory and boundaries is all, including South America, is considered Turtle Island. And in some cases, they even consider it for the whole planet. So you're on Turtle Island, okay? Tomanin was a Shechem, a Saxima. When you go look at the plaque, it says he was one of the Sakima.
Black down Delaware.
Front and market. It says on the plaque he was a Shechem. But they write it, I'm glad I abolished it. This is how you know Africans was in America. They called Tomanin, first of all, his name is Ta-Ma-Nin. Look at the name. That's Kemetic in itself.
Ta means land, right?
Land. People of the land, from the
Ma.
motherland. Right there. Ma is mother, Ta is land. Nin is of the waters, Noon. They also use a D at the end of the name. That's one. The next thing is that they said he sat on a council of the Sakima. S-A-X or K-I-M-A. When you look at that word in the ancient Kemetic language or Arabic, it's Shechem. A Shechem is what? A Shechem is an elder or a ruler, or someone who is of extreme importance, a person of power.
Shechem is a priest, right?
A priest or a elder. Also where you get the word sheikh.
Oh, I was just thinking about that.
S-H. S-H-E-I-K.
That's used heavily in Islam.
Yeah.
Arabic is an African tongue.
It's called
Sheikh,
Sheikh, your brother.
Shechem,
What's up?
Sakim. People themselves, you will see the same symbols in Native American culture, same language and words as you find in ancient African cultures.
You can't even lie to somebody who knows etymology. They can just break the words down. You get the truth out.
See, the whole game is to keep you from your memory.
Keep you guessing.
Not even guessing. Keep you from your memories. See, you can tell black people are suffering from a mental disease very easily. All you have to do is say African. I'm not talking about the people here who study and love and study. No, see, just test it on your family member. And I love my family, but I can't be a liar. I am not a liar. And not about this, can't be a liar about this. This is life or death right here.
What's up?
This is do or die. I went into all of their books. I ain't even going to the Quran yet. I went to every last one of their books and I pulled you up. So here you go. In the middle of this wasteland, you're going to have to build paradise. And there's nobody else that can do it. They've tried. And every time they hit a roadblock, let's knock on the black man's door. Oh, we hit a roadblock, guys. Hey, I know you guys, you're so creative. You guys can do it. I mean, man, I just don't know. So, this is all about you. Once your memory is clicked back on, there's nothing else you got to worry about. Oh, we need to have an economic plan. You have an economic plan. You already do.
Already established.
You know how to do bartering and trade amongst each other. You know how to build what you need.
That's one thing people from North Philly know how to do.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Well, any struggler know how to do that.
You've been to the bottom.
That's a struggling mentality.
Yeah.
So the land is prepared. The prophecy is now ready. He told, Tomanin told William Penn, as long as the water runs and the land is green, you can live here with your descendants. They broke their contract. They broke the treaty. The waters don't run no more. They damming up the creeks. The land is not as green as it used to be, and the people are hungry on land that used to provide for everyone. And I had to bring it up, the black woman, and I just read all her cases from North Philly, is living in a food insecure environment, which is a human rights violation. Time is up. I'm taking them to court, and court has been held. If my family's going to starve, that's a no-no.
Yes, sir.
Time to grow food. Time to teach everybody how to grow food. I don't care who they are. Teach everybody in this globe, in this city, how to grow food. You are the most starving, impoverished city in the country and in the world at this point. That's why they keep asking everybody to come to where? Philadelphia. Here come the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, that's right. That's real. That's real.
Elder Louis Farrakhan came to where? Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Now the Pope is here. Philadelphia.
Obama
Don't you
came
get
in-
it?
He gave his 2 best speeches right here.
Philadelphia.
Beginning and the end. Think about it.
This is the spot. This is the real mecca of the New World Order.
All the
And-
stuff you signed here.
Do we really call it a new world order since we didn't teach them nothing new? I'm gonna leave you on that one.
You're true indeed. I'm being funny with the term. You know that. Nothing new under the sun.
No.
But we got to take away the spookism. All right. So now, how many people want to learn how to grow food? Let's get away from. Let's get to the point. How many people want to learn how to grow food? How many people want to create a food secure environment? Raise your hand. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Donations can go around because it takes money to do this. But not money in the sense of, I need $1,000, everybody give me $1,000. No. I brought this out for a reason. Did I put the right disc in here? Here we go. I'm going to show you what I do for a living. And what I do for a living is I research how to produce things from scratch. So what I really need is people's support and reproducing the propaganda, getting the pieces so I can go out to the schools. So if I ever ask you for a donation, I don't want to ask you for a donation without you seeing what you donate to. That's the type of person I am, because I'm from North Philly. And I teach in North Philly, and I work with the youth of North Philadelphia, and I'm paid to do it. And I'm never going to stop doing it. I will go into the next universe and still be doing it. Call my name, I'm going to come steaming if the Lord let me. Stop. So, here it is. Now I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit. But this is what I do. And you can pass it around or you can see it at the table, because I couldn't get it up on the larger screen. I set up science camps in every neighborhood. I set up gardens in every neighborhood. Whoever is interested, I will teach you how to build raised beds. I will also teach you how to do what we call permaculture. Permaculture is when you take the natural soil wherever you are and you actually break through it and rebuild the soil from scratch. You can have food grow anywhere. I can get food to grow anywhere. This is the takeaway from, oh my God, where are we going to get our food from? This is the takeaway from 4,500 children asking, Mommy, why don't we have food? This is the takeaway from diabetes and sickle cell anemia and all other forms of anemia and quote-unquote AIDS, which is no such thing, but that's another story. There's no such thing as AIDS. I'll stop this for a minute, because I've seen some faces.
I want to get that lecture.
Okay, real quick. This gonna show you the psychological manipulation of people. Everybody say AIDS.
Hey.
I want to see if everybody here speaks English, or so-called English, whatever they call this stuff. So, okay, AIDS is an acronym, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's say the acronym together. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Family, can you catch AIDS?
Nope.
Thank you. Because the very acronym lets you know that you can't. That was a trick. Once again, the devil is a liar and he knows how to make you believe it.
Plus, nobody ever walk into the hospital like, yo, I got AIDS, let's do something about it. You find out on the way out.
Propaganda. 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 Here we go. You ready? If you sell a lie long enough and large enough, people will start to believe it. So you just told me acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. The first word was what? Acquired. So that means it's not something that you catch. It's something that happens over time. And then you said it again. You said immuno. So you're talking about the lymphatic system, the waters of your body.
The warriors.
Not just the warriors, but the water. Because water absorbs everything and then expunges itself out. That's why when you get cut, the lymph fluid comes to the top of your skin and blocks the germs. Anywhere you get a cut, they come immediately to that area, clog it up, and turn what color?
Red,
Black.
dark, black.
Black, brown, black. Red first, brown next, and then black is healed. Peep the science. Then you say deficiency. What you deficient in?
Iron.
Bingo.
You're deficient in minerals and deficient in oxygen levels. Because all bacteriums and all viruses need certain amounts of oxygen to survive. And then you told me, wait a minute, you said it was a syndrome. So once again, you told me it's something that's done over a long period of time. Game, peep, game. Game, peep, game, peep, game. I can sell you on your destruction.
So what do you say to the people who got diagnosed with AIDS?
What you say to them is time to boost up your T cell count. What you say to them is time to clear out your colon. What you say to them is time to actually get the blood pumping. What you say is, can I get some Ozo 3, please, pumped into my blood to bring down the pathogens? Listen without my response. Get pure oxygen pumped into the blood. It burns out the pathogens. There has been 300 cases where people have been reversed already. Write this name down. Write it down. Everything I say, and you can put it in your phone. Ed Maccabee. E-D, first name Ed. Maccabe, M-C-A-B-E or M-C-C-A-B-E. Found 300 cases of people who was diagnosed. And what he did was he gave them a certain form of treatment. It's called ozone. Ozone is oxygen, O3, oxygen pumped into the blood. When they pumped it into the blood, he reversed their condition. And their T cell count went up to the point where they will no longer be able to be diagnosed or called an HIV patient.
Can't HIV be contracted through intercourse?
It can, through fluids. But here's the kick though. Okay, so you that weak, right? You have intercourse and all of a sudden just dead. This big virus just came in and just wiped you off the planet. That sound natural to you? How long you been on the planet? Billions of years you've been on this planet, and all of a sudden there's some new virus that exists in nature that can completely wipe you out.
But they say it came from monkeys first.
You know what's the #1 killer of people?
Doctors.
Yeah, doctors. But it's not even what doctors give you. You know what really kills people?
The what?
What doctors say to them. It's not what doctors eat. It ain't even the medicine yet. It's they in your head.
So when you go into the doctor's office, they got the 5 food groups right on their front door. And one says meat, poultry, dairy. Them 3 right there is
All the same thing.
that's your death right there.
Yeah, but here's the
Fruit
thing
and water
is,
is just a bone.
make it even more simple. If you believe in me as a deity, and I tell you you're going to die, yes sir. You want to watch a movie? Okay. I'm done with this. When I'm done with it, I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna give it to you. Cool.
Thank you. That's something we watch.
I'll give it to you. Okay. Let me just do this. If you believe in me as a power, and I speak to you and speak into you, accept it. Your cells have already reacted to everything I said before I even diagnosed you. Everybody on this is of psychosomatics. What does that mean? That means the health industry is the last word in everything that's going on inside of me. Somebody who does not live behind my eyeballs is going to tell me everything that's happening inside of here. And I'm going to believe everything they say.
Condition.
Now, you come, oh, sorry ma'am, you have diabetes. And we're starting to think that most likely diabetes is genetics. You're hearing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, young brothers, can I talk like me for a minute? This is the other way Mr. Levi talk. And niggas ran and believed it. Yeah, I'm a street dude. I talk very street at times. I can get very street because I gotta hit you hard.
This is true.
I gotta hit you hard. I can't hit you soft no more. Everybody been talking soft. No, you believed it. Diabetes is not genetic. That's number one. But they started saying it so much that black people started repeating it. Stop repeating stuff. Go find out. And then, since you believe them, it triggers through those cells, through your ear hole, and goes to the rest of your cells, and go throughout the rest of your blood, and you start feeling sick because the thoughts are triggering your nervous system. Just the thought of certain things can cause you to get sick, right?
Yeah.
So imagine somebody tell you you about to die.
That goes the other way too. You get rid of something by thinking it
Say it again for me.
You can get rid of something by thinking it away.
So if you can think a disease into your existence, a dis-ease into your being, that means you can think one what? Out of your being. And you've been on earth how long? Billions of years, and all of a sudden you just dead. Because of something that came about in 1975. Damn. And we believed it. We ran with it. Well, I know that I'm God. I don't know about you, but I'm part of the family of God. Are you part of the family of God? Because I'm part of the family of the Most High. So since I'm part of the family of the Most High, and my ancestors was on the bottom of a slave ship where they was living and sitting and laying with feces around you for 90 days, 80 days, 60 days, you was at the bottom of a ship with rats. And you survived that, family. You remember that?
No.
Oh, yeah, you gonna act like you don't. But I think deep down in our subconscious, most of us can remember those feelings, can't you?
Yes, sir.
So if you can survive that and come to a country and build, how can you as a so-called free living individual let somebody just tell you you're gonna die because of bacteria that been around for trillions of years around you? Tell you what you believe about yourself is what's going to be you. And they all know that. Because there's certain parts of the world they have seen people do some magnificent things, and scientists do not report it. But they have seen people when they went into Africa and tried to do AIDS testing, and they have been in that same population and said, wait a minute, we know this strain of this particular bacteria is in this country. These people keep coming up negative. Kind of strange, ain't it? Go look it up online. There's thousands of cases. There's babies being born to women who supposedly been diagnosed, and they coming out what? Clean and negative. All of a sudden now there's some miracles being worked, right? We caught it in time. The baby came from the woman's cell and grew from her cells out of her blood and her clot to become a living being. And now there's a living person from a person who supposedly was going to die from a disease. Are you with me? See, now is the time where the spirit is about to activate, and they know it. So we got to keep you Negroes asleep. We got to keep you believing in everything from white Jesuses and angels and fairy tales and comic books and cartoons and Superman and Batman and Robin and everybody else. Easter bunnies that lay eggs.
Rabbits don't lay eggs.
Right, I know. Easter bunnies lay eggs. I'm like, man, leave me alone. And all types of Peter Pan and the big bad wolf, Santa Claus, and you know.
And the frog princess.
Frog princess, oh Lord. Are y'all with me? And now it's time to shift, it's time to let it go. It says in the scriptures, Romans chapter 12, verse 2, the renewal of your mind. The change in your existence is the renewal. Can I read it? I go ahead, y'all. This is what I love to do. I know I'm about to show this clip. If anybody wants to study, you get your information, we can write it down. If anybody would like to continue and actually be a part of the agricultural projects and research projects, we all get each other's information. The donation, if you give any donations today, it all goes towards me and all the people that's involved in this project continuing this work. Everything I do comes from me. I don't do anything I don't wait for nobody to bring information. I go find it and get it and bring it back to my family. Okay, so this is what I do for a living. All right? Are you listening? This is what I do. So when you call me on the phone at nighttime, because a lot of people do it, I'm laying down on the floor. Yes, I lay on the floor. Mama. And and you call me and you say, Brother Levi, I was looking for this information, man, and I needed to verify something. And so the next thing I'm up for 2 hours talking and giving you nothing but source information, document after document after document, even take you into the library to help you find it. That takes energy. And I have to start talking this way for a reason, because I usually don't talk about money. I don't like to. I love my people. We friends, we fam. I don't like talking about money, but I have to. So if you want to donate, please donate, because it keeps this research going. Now let me show you the research. Little brothers, this is for you. Okay? This is what we do. We don't talk about creating solar energy. We teach how to create it. We don't talk about growing food peas. If you want to donate, sister, anybody can drop dollar, change, anything you want. Let's see. There you go. Can we use this? Yep. Use this right here.
How much you need?
And I'm just gonna put it right here.
How much?
Y'all gonna help me go pass it around? You got it, Shiloh. Let's go.
I'm tired.
But this is what we do. So if you want to come up, check the videos. We'll be actually having the videos here for sale at Black and Nobel very soon. Matter of fact, this will pay for it.
Hey, bro. I
Yes,
need,
sir.
actually, can I take a copy of that?
Which
Listen,
one?
you see that look I gave you?
Getting the land?
That one and the other one with the numbers.
Oh, you can have it. I'll get another one. Don't worry about it. If you, it was out there. I don't know if I still have it on the table. It was out there. This is on how to get the lands and the plots and lands you can go to. No, I can give you. Am I doing it? Yeah. I stopped for a while. I'm restarting now. Yeah. Next Sunday. Yeah. What's next Sunday date? No, because I have the locks conference. No, that's the locks conference. I won't be here next Sunday. I have the locks conference.
That's across the street from my mom's place.
Yeah.
Pepper Middle School, right?
No, Orion Reed School. Universal Orion Reed.
Orton Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, in South Philly?
Yep.
I thought the Locks conference was in Pet Rose.
And where?
In Pet Rose at Pepper Middle. On Island Avenue.
It's going to be at
I
Orion.
mean, oh yeah?
Universal
I
Orion.
need to tell a couple people, they think.
Call me anytime. Science research. And we have to help you on any information.
Yeah.
Take hold. As long as you got it.
Alright, thank you.
Be careful with that, boys, please. So you see this? These are all children. This is the programs that we do. So if you have young people, if you have children, and you would like to actually have science class, science programs with your children, watch it.
Oh no, I homeschool.
You homeschool. This is all of this is freedom school. So that means this is not school. This is like a rec center that I have access to. This is in Norfolk. This is Tim in Oxford, and I know the elder who runs that particular space. So what we can do is
How often do you have these classes?
as many children as signed up for it. So if you call me and you want to do it, I only do things when people want to. I'm not, because it's too much I have to do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like once a week.
Whatever you want to set up. If you got young people, you get your information. The book right there. Put the side of it, tap it. Oh, right here. Where's that? I'll come through tomorrow if you need me to come through. You got to see these done?
Yeah, I was gonna bring it tomorrow.
Okay. So, whenever you're ready, brother, this is all of these are science kits and everything. So, our whole thing is just making it happen. This is over, of course, you can see.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, we'll drop it.
Thank you. That was nice.
No problem.
I
Yeah.
don't think you want them to touch it.
All right, y'all can put it down now.
You got me?
Okay. So I can keep playing. You was watching.
It's cool.
Yeah. So Oronde got my number, and if y'all want it, so let's set
Hey
that
y'all,
up.
I'm on camera. I'm on camera. I'm on
Get
camera.
out that camera. That's not a toy.
I'm on camera.
9747.
I got your hand. Well, you got my hand. I got yours.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for that. Boy, hand me that. Hand me that.
Oh, that paper?
Yeah, and
Plug it in.
and I'm looking for the what's the price on that holistic?
Oh yeah. This is 20. Yeah, and it's well worth it, brother. Let me show you.
Cable was stopped.
Email him. He goes over it.
Mr. Wolf, I'm saying somebody posted. Oh yeah, man.
What's that? Don't let nobody I lost your bill. Now they got more.
Another thing, bro. Look, next September, over in Delaware.
Right.
But see, I'm doing it. I'm waiting. I'm trying to get one of my brothers. He's connected with brother Papa Smalls.
Right.
We're gonna either get him or see Corn to come and do the ceremony, right? But my thing is, because we all gonna be dressed up African to wedding, right? Be expected to come.
You got it. Get up. Done.
That's why, listen, I was telling my queen, I said, look, I said, you talking about the best drum? You know what? Listen, I got it. All right, what
still connected?
Right.
They'll turn it off when it's time. Get off the camera. Please get off that camera. I know, because people are watching right now.
We need to start lifting each other.
And if you keep handling that means they see in your hand as it touches the camera lens.
You know how to make that vibration? You know how to do that?
They learn it. Hold your arm up. Hold your hand up. Hold your hand up. There. Remember how I showed you? You hit the side. He can do it. Shallow can do it a little easier because it's heavy. Go ahead. You doing it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all brother go up.
So so we doing now, and I'm raising money to get the soil and build more beds. And if you want to put beds, raised beds.
Raised beds.
Yeah, so if y'all want to do that, we can get that going.
I got a
Do I have everybody number?
community center in North New Jersey that want
Go. Let's go.
yeah,
Right. I'm
they
ready.
just want a date, so I told them I'm gonna speak to you before I confirm a particular date to make sure
That's
it don't hold it back.
Write it down.
Conflict of something doing.
We setting it up now.
I'm
Those
gonna
are
set it
10.
up now. So October is good.
Where go your money?
Late. That's why I don't want you near this camera. Thank you. Put it down. It's not.
Oh, the donations is in there.
Yeah, thank you. Come here. Come here, y'all. I want y'all to walk. I want you to walk to your mom. Give Sherman his hat. Your mom, she's right downstairs. Walk straight down. I'll be right down. We talking here. We talking about the sister. They're not playing. Yeah. You noticed it?
And a big show speech around them. It was a good.
Well, you know, I like to interact. One thing
I mean,
about
like
me,
the
I use everybody I interact with. She stepped downstairs, but if you want to wait with me right now, we gonna go down there together, okay? She's coming, brother. She didn't leave. Ain't nobody gonna leave you nowhere. You hear me? And you going, and even if she did, I can still get you back. You ain't stranded. You have it? Yes, you take one on Rondé so you can pass it. I need one too. And you got the new African Independence, Declaration of Independence? Oh, let me know. Oh yeah. Put that on the wall. In there, brother. I'll put that back in there, brother. Yes, we do need it, and we don't need it outside of this platform. Put it back in there. You smell that? Yeah, we do. We're taking this and we're gonna actually work with it. Yo.
You said immediately grows in water?
Yeah, it expands in water.
And what you say it do for you again?
Ask the brothers in the back and back here.
And what exactly does it do for you again?
It regenerates the cells in your body. It regenerates the semen, estrogen. Walk. Thank you. Regenerates the semen and cells in your body. And give you 92 trace minerals into the blood. Yeah.
I just put, just so you can put that Northern Jersey.
We gonna set it up.
Late October, must confirm date for lecture.
Let's try November. We can probably shoot for November because we got the locks conference coming, got all this stuff. So late October, early November, or in December will be the last one.
Alright, that's cool because it'll give me some time to really set it up so it can be a packed house.
Exactly, and that's what we want to do. And let's generate.
Let's plan it out.
Yeah, it's time to generate.
So you go with the family from here.
Yeah, I can unless you do what you have.
I think it is.
You out?
No, I'm right there.
Yeah, we actually, what are you talking about?
No, we probably just gonna head up to Germantown. To the brother house. You know.
Oh, y'all about to, oh, wow. Oh, you're okay. Yeah, hey, Tabulu or somebody, you guys turn the camera off for the NSA come on.
Yo, you want that paper with some read something on yourself?
No.
Oh, somebody turned that on?
Yeah.
That don't still scream.